Hello everyone, my name is Gustav Mukete. I'm a doctorate student at California Intercontinental University. Today we'll be talking about surveys, and specifically we'll be looking at the SAP software customer satisfaction survey. So we want to see how satisfied the SAP customers are with the SAP software. Okay, so we have a quick. So on our agenda here, first we will look at the purpose of this study. Secondly, we'll look at how clear our questions are, so clarity of the survey questions. We'll look at thirdly, the participants' ability to answer questions. Fourth, we'll take a look at layout and the visual impression of the survey. And we'll move to the content and relevance of the survey questions to the study, so how these questions actually capture the purpose of the study. And then we'll look at the utility of the survey, so how useful or how beneficial this survey will be to the SAP product development team. And then I'll give an opportunity for questions, and I'll provide answers to your questions as well. So what is the purpose of this study? So this is an exploratory study which empirically investigates whether the SAP software is perceived as a very reliable management information system software by its current customers. So the result of this survey will help SAP to understand how valuable the product quality attribute is, and also provide guidance for any future improvements in terms of the user interface or security, or just general improvement in the SAP software quality. So that's the purpose of this study. So next we'll take a look at how clear our survey questions are. So here we designed 5 questions. We designed 5 questions with very simple English, very simple grammar. Here we see that our questions have been structured in a horizontal style. We've used a very simple language in our questions. They're very clear, they're very easy to understand, and these questions will be administered to averagely people with college degrees who are already using the software. That's to say financial analysts, accountants, FICO architects, managers of IT, and just people who already have a very solid foundation of the SAP software and have a solid grasp of the English language as well. So we use the most simple terms here to craft these questions in this survey. So our first question here is, how likely is it that you will recommend SAP software to a friend? So what this is saying is, if you are satisfied with the SAP software overall, you will recommend that software to a family or friend. So here we used a Likert scale from 0 to 10, with 0 being the not at all likely component, and then we have the extremely likely component having the score of 10. So if a user selects the extremely likely option, which is 10, it means the user is very pleased with the SAP software, and the user has a higher probability of recommending the SAP software to their friend or family member. So our next question here is, how satisfied are you with the reliability of the SAP software? So this second question also tries to exploit the unique element of reliability. So if the overall quality is good, it means the software is reliable. So how satisfied with the reliability of the SAP software? Is it up and running every time you want to use it, or Do you have blackouts? Do you have sign-on errors? Do you have security breaches? Do you have generally you have issues with the software, with interacting or using the software? So we have the not at all satisfied function, we have the not so satisfied, we have the somewhat satisfied, we have the very satisfied, and then we have the extremely satisfied on the extreme positive side. So this question here, we see that the question is also structured in a very simple language. We see the keyword here, which is reliability, and the questions have been crafted in a horizontal style. In the back end, we can see the coding. We don't have the coding here physically, but in the back end we can see the coding in our minds. So the next question here is, how satisfied are you with the security of the SAP software? So here we are trying to see the security component. How satisfied are the customers with the security of the SAP software? So is it easy to set up roles? Is it easy to segregate roles in SAP from the various kinds, from development, quality to production? So how satisfied are the customers with the security of the SAP software? Is it easy to breach the SAP software from third-party illegal intruders? Let's use that word. So generally, if the customer is not satisfied with the security of the SAP software, then SAP has to invest time in improving the security, working on making sure that the security roles are easy to be assigned between users, and also the users have just the designated security roles that they need for their day-to-day operations within the SAP environment. So that's question 3. Question 4 is also another very simple question. So question 4 is also crafted very simply, which is trying to investigate how satisfied the users are with the user interface. So when you launch the SAP software, are you happy with the user interface? You know, how easy it is for you to generate your reports, how easy it is for you to use the application. Can you access the SAP application on your mobile device? How friendly is the user interface? So with your interaction, this is more of the interaction with the SAP software. What is your feedback? How satisfied are you with the degree of reliability in terms of the user interface? How does the SAP software feel? Do you get into the office and when you launch the SAP software, do you have a smile on your face, or you just have sighs, or do you start hitting your head, oh, I'm back to this SAP software again? So this is the purpose of this question 4. So here we are trying to exploit that degree of friendliness. How user friendly is the SAP software? How does it feel and look, to the user? So do you get your reports on a click and go basis? Can you easily customize your reports, or do you have to run reports for 600 hours through batch jobs or through complicated procedures? So here, if the customer is dissatisfied, then the SAP product improvement team has to work on getting a new product update that will take into consideration all those drawbacks or the recommendations from the users. And then we have a final question, which is an open-ended question. So here we are giving the respondents the opportunity to reveal, to give their genuine feedback on what they think are the areas or how they think the SAP software can be improved. So this will give the users the opportunity, or the respondents the chance, to genuinely tell us, or genuinely tell me what they feel about the SAP software. It's a software always has the chance, opportunity for future improvement. So here we want to understand what the respondents think as to which areas will need improvement in their SAP software. It might be you might be material management, you might be a basis component, you might be a finance, it might be human resource, or it might be something just related to the general functioning of the software. It might be, oh no, it will be better if we can get a faster response speed while generating profit center reports, for example, or a balance sheet from the system. So this question gives that opportunity for the respondents to give that open recommendations. So those areas that the users of the software think need improvement. This will go a long way to help the SAP strategic team to craft their strategies, their improvement strategies based on the feedback received in this question 5. Question 5 is a very important question, just like the others. So what are we saying here in terms of the participants' ability to answer questions? First, we see that all those questions are very brief and clear, and to an extent, I would say that sometimes there is a trade-off between brevity and clarity. So when you try to be very brief, you trade off clarity. But here we have seen that we have captured both brevity and clarity. Our questions are very brief and at the same time they are very clear. So the next point is both open-ended and closed-ended questions. We've used both open-ended and closed-ended questions here, so which gives the respondents the ability to answer the questions genuinely by just checking the option that applies or simply writing down their recommendations. All our questions here are mutually exclusive, so we have mutually exclusive options in our questions, which is also a very great component. And again, we have to think that this survey will be administered to averagely people with college degrees who have the information technology background and who have been using the SAP software. So all those questions are very simple, and for everyone who has been using the SAP software, it will take a very short time to provide answers to those questions. So it's going to take between 60 seconds, between 60 seconds and less to complete the questionnaire. And another very key thing here is there are no emotionally loaded or vague questions. Those questions are straight, they are not double-barreled, no emotions attached to the question, so it makes it easier for the respondents to genuinely respond to the questions in a very timely fashion as well. So we'll move to, so here with the fourth component, we'll talk here about the layout and the visual impression of our survey. So the first, we do see that our survey questions have been designed with very appealing color and text. So we use the green color, which is the typical color for designing survey questions. So we see the green in bold, is also in bold text, so it makes it very easy for the viewers to read the questions and to also provide answers to the questions. The second thing here is the questions are effectively crafted. So we see that our questions have been crafted in a sequential fashion. So all our questions follow a sequential order. Thirdly, the survey can be easily completed via a mobile device. So it's friendly. You can get on SurveyMonkey and provide answers to the questions via your mobile device, desktop, or your tablet. And the final and very important point here is this is amazing. It just takes 60 seconds for you to complete this survey. So it takes approximately 60 seconds for you to get done, provide your answers, and that's it. So that's a really nice thing about this survey in terms of layout and visual impression. So the next point here on our agenda is the content and relevance of our survey questions to the study. So the first thing with question 1, we see how the question tries to explore the recombination likelihood from a respondent which is a function of user satisfaction. So if you're very satisfied with the SAP software, like we mentioned earlier, you are more likely to recommend that software to a family member or a relative, which translates a positive image to the SAP strategic team. So the second question also attempts to explore the degree of the overall reliability of the software, which is also very relevant to the study, geared towards the improvement or understanding the drawbacks of the software and guiding the product improvement or research and development team on how to make the best decisions on the future releases in terms of the degree of reliability, overall reliability of the SAP software. Looking at our third question here, our third question also attempts to explore the respondent's degree of satisfaction with the SAP software in terms of security. So how satisfied is the respondent in terms of the security of the SAP software? Security is also a very key element in in general software industry. So thinking about management information system software, you will, no matter what the size of the company is, you'll be very interested in understanding how secure software is, because you keep millions and millions of business information in the software, and you don't want that software to be easily breached or to easily give access to third party persons or personalities who are not supposed to get access to the software, which might be very deadly for any company. Question number 4 explores the respondent's degree of satisfaction with the user interface. So how do you feel about using the SAP software? Do you get to work and you feel very happy about the speed of the software, how easy it is for you to post general ledger transactions, to generate reports, just that general feel? How satisfied are you with the SAP user interface? And then question number 5, this is an open-ended question here, so it gives that opportunity, gives that chance to the respondent to provide a genuine opinion on the areas of improvement. So how do you think that we can improve on the SAP software? So what are the areas, what are those pinpoints that you feel the SAP product development team can work on in terms of improvement? So that is it with the content and relevance of the study. We see summarily here that our questions capture the relevance of this study. So our questions capture all the components that deserve investigation and actually guide and align themselves. The questions align themselves with the actual purpose of the study. So when we take a look at the questions, we'll see that the questions are crafted in such a way that they attempt to provide, the feedback will provide genuine guidance towards achievement of the original purpose of the study. So when we move to the guys, we get to the 6th point here on our agenda, which is the utility of the survey. How useful, how beneficial is this study? So the first thing here is the study will serve as an efficient tool to judge customer loyalty. So first of all, there is that correlation between customer loyalty and reliability of a software. So if a customer is loyal to a software, first you want to think that the software is doing what it is actually supposed to do. So it's serving the customer, it's achieving the purpose of the purchase purpose of the customer. So a loyal customer is that customer who gets all the benefits from the product or service that he or she has paid for. So this service will help us understand what is actually driving that loyalty. And secondly, This survey will also help reveal the extent to which the customers feel satisfied with the features of the SAP software, which also touches the first point, which is loyalty. So the survey will serve as an opportunity for customers to express their genuine opinions about how they feel about the software and present their feedback freely without any interruption. So we have the third point, which is an open-ended question, which also gives that extra opportunity for the customers to reveal their minds, to reveal what they feel about the SAP software. You can freely express yourself, which module, which sub-module, which element of the SAP software that you think needs improvement, which is also a very beneficial thing for the SAP development, product development or enhancement team. The final and the third point here is this study will help to establish an important trend within the feedback provided by the SAP customers, and this trend can produce information that can be analyzed and used as a tool to be on the competitive edge side of the management information system software industry. We all understand the intense competition going on right now. We have Oracle coming up with very competitive products, AWS, we have SAP, we have PeopleSoft. So it is very important for these businesses to be on top of their game, to understand what is changing, to understand how the customers perceive their products, to also explore those trends, to understand those areas that need improvement, so they can always continue to satisfy the customers and remain on the competitive edge of the enterprise resource planning software market. So I think that's all we have for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to pose your questions. You can also email me through my email gmodimi@student.caluniversity.edu. I usually respond to emails within 24 hours. If I don't respond to you within 24 hours, then I might have missed your email, or maybe your email got into my junk. But once again, thank you all for listening to me today, and feel free to ask me any questions. Email me your questions anytime, and you should get a response from me within 24 hours or less. Thank you, and I wish you a great evening.